Today is the day that our vote makes history within our nation and right here in the state of Florida. On the My Florida Green podcast, we've been talking a lot about Amendment 3, and it's our actions, whether we decide to vote or not, how we decide to vote, they're going to change the Florida Constitution forever. And it's going to change how this plant-based alternative is, how it's cultivated, how it's distributed, and also how it's regulated here in the state of Florida, and it'll change it forever. The implications of our actions cannot be understated. There are many people that will be affected by this particular amendment. There's a lot of talk about how legislators can change the rules of how this works after the fact. It's not entirely true. For 6 months, what legislators, if it does pass, for 6 months, legislators are going to get together and they're going to create a framework around what has already been written. And there's some things in here that have already been written that we really need to be concerned about before we just go and vote yes. Because listen, I get it. I just want everyone to know out there, I want recreational too, but it has to be done properly. I just don't want Amendment 3. Here's some of the reasons why I don't want Amendment 3. One of them is there's no home grow on Amendment 3. Okay, it allows for none of that. In fact, what it requires is that anyone who does grow or becomes a cultivator has to be a licensed MMTC or dispensary. What does that mean? That means, well, to have an application, it's about $146,000. And then vertical integration requires that MMTC to own the grow operation, packaging and processing, and also the dispensary itself. And that's about a $50 million operation. So what that means is that small cultivators will never be able to enter the market. You will never be able to grow from home under these rules and regulations. I can't reinforce this enough that our decision's permanent. It becomes a part of the Florida Constitution, so we really have to think this through first. And if you want more context on some of these subjects and some of the inner workings of how this amendment's working, please visit our YouTube channel. You can go to our podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, any of our social media accounts. We have a bunch of shorts on there that kind of talk little snippets of what's going on. But I definitely recommend everyone out there, if you're going to go vote, read the amendment first, not just the summary. The summary was approved by the Supreme Court, and it only highlights a few of the elements. If you read the entire amendment, you're going to get greater context and you'll know what you're truly voting on. So I just implore you to all, please take a moment to do that. But regardless of whatever way you vote, I just want to encourage everyone out there to exercise your constitutional right and vote. Make your voice heard. That's the only way that this social experiment works in the United States of America under our constitutional republic, is if you show up to vote and put into place what we want, we the people. Thank you much, and God bless.